Morning, everyone. Good morning. Nice and warm. Getting out of the weather. Just maybe the museum. Hey, look, this is fantastic to see all of you from so many different parts of the world. My name is Amareshwar Gala. I'm the founding chair of this wonderful research network. And there's a very interesting story why we started it. In fact, it started with Dr. Stephen Eggleston, who was the former Director General of National Museum of Technology in London, and subsequently the Director of the Wealth Museum in its redevelopment. And some of you, how many of you been to an inclusive museum conference before? Wow, that's fantastic. So I'll keep it very short. 2004 November, Theo Van Gogh was murdered or assassinated in front of the Tropen Museum. I was running a masterclass for 16 PhD students in the Tropen Museum. And I saw how the Dutch society, despite the most benevolent multicultural policies, was falling apart. So we had a European conference called Dancing with Diversity, discussing as to how to deal with this kind of situation. At that stage, I was working in Leiden, in the Netherlands. So then, Common Ground Research Networks is president, was Wilco, who some of you heard yesterday on the online introduction. He suggested, let's do something. And because everybody was trying to define a museum, so we decided on the line that we still adhere to, how can the institution of the museum become more inclusive? We don't define it. How can the institution of the museum become more inclusive? We've been going for 17 years, met in different parts of the world, and from Buenos Aires to Johannesburg to Brisbane, Copenhagen, Los Angeles, Vancouver. And the dialogue continues, but what's the real benchmark for us is the papers in the journal, how people present, follow up, and publish in the journal. And it's a tier of journal, Scopus listed, Web of Science listed, but also it's quartile one, which means top, one of the top museum journals in the world. The fact that people actually follow the community and work on their research is quite impressive. And also the other thing is that right from the beginning, it's young people who are moderators and facilitators, and it has an impact. More than 50% of our presenters and 50% of the papers published in the journal are very young people, in their late 20s and early 30s. So it is the next generation, it's the next voice. I mean, I'm probably the only old guy that you listen to here in terms of chairing and facilitating sessions. And so I just want you to feel free, participate, ask questions, whatever. And Dr. Philip Kalantzeskov is there at the door. He's the director of the conferences, Common Ground Research Network conferences. I don't know if Tamsin will, but is Dr. Tamsin there? Show yourself, they can't see you. She's the one who's been communicating with you all. Now, can I ask all the graduate awardees to stand up, please? So other people can see. The emerging scholars. Emerging scholars, sorry.
Don't be shy.
The emerging scholars are the ones who will be moderators and chairpersons, and they keep an eye out for them. I know they're sitting together right now, but very soon there's an institute. Okay, look, it's fantastic to see you all. And now I would like to invite our local host, ICOM Austria, the president of it, Joanna Schweinberg, to come up and welcome you all. Joanna.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, please let me extend a very warm welcome to you all here in the wonderful Beit Museum and online. As President of ICOM Austria, I'm immensely honored to address you for the opening of the 17th International Conference on the Inclusive Museum here in Vienna. I'm so grateful for the opportunity that such an exceptional important exchange is taking place in our city and with ICOM Austria as a cooperating partner. I especially want to thank Amagala for his inexhaustible work, energy, and initiative to make this all happen. Thank you so much, Amar. I also want to express my thanks to Tamsin Gilbert and the organizational team for incredible work. We met already, and I know how much work such a conference is. The Inclusive Museum Research Network is brought together by a shared concern for the future role of the museum and how it can contribute to the challenges of inclusion and participation. ICOM's new museum definition addresses these concerns and positions museums as important actors in service to society. Aside from the basic missions of museums to research, collect, conserve, interpret, and exhibit tangible and intangible heritage, our goal is to welcome a broad public, to be accessible, inclusive, and to foster diversity and sustainability. Museums shall function as platforms and role models to advocate for climate justice, poverty reduction, and inclusion across all cultural and political boundaries. Through local action, but also through national and international initiatives, museums can be actively complementing the initiatives of civil society and politics. Museums and cultural institutions have a critical voice sparking climate action through education, engagement, and collaboration. As we all know, we have reached the critical turning point this year. We've got just 6 years from now on for realizing the UN 2030 agenda addressing the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations that envisage a world where every individual can live a dignified and fulfilling life. A world that ensures the planet's survival through responsible consumption and sustainable growth, a world without hunger, poverty, injustice, and inequality. This is an agenda for the sustainable economic, social, and environmental transformation of our society. The SDGs are an ambitious call to all of us, both at the individual and institutional level, to contribute to the sustainable development of our planet and to fight the ongoing climate crisis. But how can museums promote awareness through arts and culture of an environmentally sound and just society? ICOM Austria has launched a project called 17 Museums times 17 SDGs in 2021 that was designed to demonstrate that museums take the SDGs seriously and can contribute to their implementation. Just during the difficult COVID years, we want to raise awareness and visibility to what museums can contribute to society, to the SDGs and an optimistic future for all. Since then, ICOM Austria has been working tirelessly on different aspects of the SDGs to promote change in the museum world. We have established a well-received platform for Austrian museums to exchange and cooperate. We have promoted energy savings in museums through a special certification program. And we have published a special guide called Inclusive Museums that points out Austrian museums that foster inclusion. Cultivating inclusion is vital to this work. As we all know, a common goal for museums has been to open their doors wide and design their digital presence so that they are acceptable to everyone without barriers. Museums whose programs are designed so that people with diverse biographical, cultural, and religious backgrounds not only feel welcome, but also feel invited to actively participate and help shape things. Museums that design their collection, presentation, and exhibitions from the outset so that people can experience them with all their senses. Museums whose educational formats are inclusive so that they can be experienced by a wide variety of people together. We all know there's still a long way to go in many places before such an all-inclusive museum can be realized. Even though museum managers are more than aware of the importance of easy accessibility, appropriate infrastructure, exhibition design, and educational programs, they are sometimes hesitant about implementing them. The cost of the associated investments and personal intensive programs, alongside increasing economic pressure on cultural institutions, represent a challenge for many museums. However, the vision of a museum for and with everyone is one of the most important goals to be achieved in the future. Just because we are not quite where we want to be, does not mean a lot of very positive things have not happened in the last years. Especially during the COVID pandemic, the attitude that art and culture are basic necessities that ensure cultural participation, self-determination, equal opportunities, and non-discrimination for all people has increased significantly. Museums are perceived as platforms for encounters and dialogue, enabling meaningful experiences, strengthening personality and identity. A visit to a museum can expand knowledge, foster curiosity, provide entertainment, convey aesthetic enjoyment, touch emotionally, or address fundamental questions of life and identity. In the following lectures and workshops, we will receive many examples and detailed information on a broad variety of initiatives, research projects, and best practice examples that will show us the way forward in making museums more accessible and inclusive. Let's work together for an inclusive society that offers equal opportunities for all people. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, times three. Well, I'm Philip Cope. I'm the Chief Social Scientist of Commonwealth Research Networks. It's a great honour to be here. It's wonderful to be with so many people that have been on this journey with us for so long. So it's a great and feel for what we do. I'm going to talk briefly just about what our agenda is as an organisation and the things that we're doing to help support, get your voices out to the world, and for us to have access to the rich history of things that we have done together. Firstly, when we came out of the pandemic, or even during the pandemic, we were, well, I was struck by the temporariness of so many of the solutions. We were building a shed or a shack outside that was not going to transform the place or the shop or the institution, and all the kind of things that we did sometimes felt temporary. And what we tried to do in our little humble way, as we also built technology. So all the interface and things that you use are built by our own research team. And we would try to think, what is the nature of the scholarly conference? What is the nature of the things that we do? And how can we provide a different kind of infrastructure, or how can we begin to provide a different kind of infrastructure that can, bridge the boundaries of space and time. Space in the sense of we're all here in person, which is fantastic. We can be here together again. But there's other people who are online, who are accessing content remotely. And one of the things that again, we face through the pandemic is new kinds of digital divides and new kinds of boundaries that were being defined. First, the time zone. When was this online event? When did I have to speak? Technological barriers too. So what we have done humbly, you'll see we have no printed program. One, it's an environmental disaster to have printed programs that we read for a few days and put and throw away. But we are trying to force everybody, all the content, conversations, and presentations into this online platform. Firstly, we are trying to do this for the online delegates. Their experience is asynchronous, and we did that. That's not accidental. We did that on purpose because one, that time zone barrier, but also people have professional and personal existences that are complicated, and how you engage is a very personal thing. So, how many pieces of digital content we have on the?
More digital content than people. I think
More
it's like
digital content than
it's like 260 pieces of digital.
260 pieces. So all of the online delegates, you'll see an uploaded digital content which you can view and comment whenever you like. And also we encourage you to do the same. And I'll explain why shortly or now. The other thing is that conferences are temporal things. We are here for 3 days, we get inspired, we meet each other, and we kind of disappear into our own worlds. And so what we're trying to do is that this conference never ends to a certain degree. And what I mean by that is you all have presentation pages, you all have profiles. If somebody may request content from you after this is finished, you may add somebody as a peer, you can connect with them. There's a whole web of conversations and dialogues that we hope continue on. We also want to build a legacy resource that you can access whenever you want. So we've been doing this for 2 or 3 years now, and you can go back to previous years' conferences, you can view the content, you can engage, and in that way there's an ongoing dialogue that happens beyond these days, and there's a resource that you can access as well. One of the things that we also want to do is, coming out of the pandemic, is if you've come here, they want to get you out of the rooms. We love these, like it's great to present in these kind of this pedagogical format, but there's other ways of engaging, communicating, and doing research, thinking and doing research. We've been a pioneer in this conference for doing this since forever, so I'm speaking to an audience that already understands this, but we are getting you out into museums. There are 4 museums, is that right, Tamsin, that we are going to? If you send back to those, it'd be fantastic, so we can really push that engagement there as well. I'd like to recognise again our emerging scholars. You applied for this position, it's and it's a competitive application process. We have our best group this year. People say, look, you say that every year, but it's true. They get better every year, and so they'll be here chairing your sessions. As Mar said, it's very important for us to have emerge with this. Can I do this at the same time?
No,
No, I can't.
you don't know my password. Light finger on it.
Yeah, so I think it's very important for us to have emerging voices at the front of the room. Now, I want to be clear, emerging isn't age, position, it's a kind of existential concept that is loose to everyone. We're all emerging to a certain sense, but it's a wonderful group, and I really want to recognise them and thank them for being here. The other bit is that we are not just as a research network. The conference is one important part of what we do, but it's not all that we do. We have a wonderful journal that I really encourage you to to consider. As Mark had said, we Q1 in Scopus, and we were accepted into Web of Science last year, and I'm really excited for the growth and progress of the journal. And we're doing a few things differently. Firstly, we are trying to take seriously the peer review. And what do I mean by that? Is that too often the editor, or our editorial board can be the kind of dictators of content, right? Dictators of what comes in. I don't mean political sense, but they dictate. Sorry. And so what we want to do is that we want content validation to happen from the community itself. Right, so if you put in a paper or you're on our peer-reviewed database, is that we ask the community to be the validators. It's not just this top-down hierarchical approach. So that's important to us. The other thing is that we want to give the content back to authors and delegates. So many people don't know this, but you can, if you sign in to the Scholar platform, you can access all the content that we've published for the last 17 years. So it's a wonderful resource that we also open up to you. The other thing is that we have a fantastic book series. This is my Oprah moment. You all get books because also the books that are published by us, you get access to the electronic content there as well. So as much as possible, we are trying to provide an infrastructure that amplifies the things that you do and provides professional and intellectual pathways. That's it for me. I really want to thank you for being here. Thank you to our hosts. We are in great institutions. ICOM Austria has been fantastic, and so it's a wonderful honor to be here. And if you're ever interested in bringing this to your home, please come and talk to me or Amar over the next few days. So with that, I'm going to hand you to Tamsin, who's going to tell you a lot of important practical things, and then we'll move on with the program. So thank you very much.
Welcome to sunny Vienna. Just a few things for the next few days that I just want to say on a loudspeaker so that everyone, I've said it to everyone. We will be here and until the first two plenary speakers this morning. After they're finished, we'll shift over to the meeting here, and then everything will be there for the rest of the few days. Copy is out here this morning. Tomorrow and Sunday, it will be at a different cafe, 2 different cafes. So come and get a little ticket from me in the morning so that I can tell you what that is. Lunches are in Cafe Leopold. Please leave your name out, otherwise we won't be here. If you're signed up for the conference dinner, you would have got an email from me yesterday. Oh, sorry, I thought someone was saying something. And Museum Day, tomorrow afternoon, we'll meet in the Museum Portier Baroque, just outside the Baroque Suites there. We'll divide into 4 groups. We'll go off into our 4 different spaces. The furthest walk is going to be about 20 minutes. The shortest is 5. So bring shoes and an umbrella, because I think that we're not getting out of this rain anytime soon. And come see us at the registration desk, either here or over in the other building, or we can get over there anytime or can answer your questions. So that's it for me. You want to